Oops. Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another book review. Recently I just read Hidden Messages in Water by Masaru Emoto, and this book is extremely compelling. It talks about how objects in nature such as water can't recognize human ideals such as hate or jealousy, and it can only respond to positive emotions such as love and compassion. And there are pictures in here that are very compelling of this notion, and the whole idea that water itself responds to resonance or sound, and it also responds to words, because they did an experiment in here with jars of water, and they also did experiments with rice. And actually the experiment with rice was the one I found the most fascinating of all. They had a family in this experiment that took 3 different jars of rice, and one they told the rice thank you, and the other one they told the rice you fool, and then the third they just left alone. Now this is the interesting part about this particular experiment. The results proved that the rice that was actually ignored rotted much quicker than the rice that was told you fool. So I thought, and this is actually proven with children when they're born, when they're just babies, because they are so fragile and vulnerable when they come into the world in that state. If a child is left neglected, they often become feral, and there are lots of stories of this in Europe, particularly England, that I've read about feral children, and they call them wolf children. And there was one child who had said, I was actually raised by wolves, that she was raised by wolves, and that kind of makes you wonder whether animals are smarter than what we give them credit to. And it mentions Dr. Sheldrake, and Dr. Sheldrake actually did a lot of research about this, and it's not postulated, it's something that is proven, and the evidence is there. And his website is absolutely incredible if you ever go and check it out. He hasn't really written anything recently, but he mostly does research on pets and their owners and long distance relationships, and stories like Homeward Bound, which I think Homeward Bound is based on an actual account, because the tale is the animals were left behind, and their owners went away on vacation, and of course the animals felt that they were abandoned, so they followed their owners, and they got lost on the way, but they survived, and they were able to come back to their owners, and there was a very happy reunion at the end. And it's one tale that actually makes me cry quite a bit, because I am a huge fan of animals in general, just because I think that they have such a different perspective, and I think they vibrate at a higher frequency than we do, and they just understand more than we could ever understand, and they're just they're only affected by positive emotions. And it actually, Emoto explains this with a lion quite well. He uses the illustration of a lion. The only reason a lion hunts is a lion doesn't kill because they're compelled to kill. No, a lion kills because he has to survive, and he has to, or I should say she, because usually it's a female that does the killing. But she kills because she has to survive in the wild and feed her young, and this is the way that they are able to propagate the species. And they don't kill because they know violence. It's because of survival. And you see tenderness in a lion pride. You see tenderness in everything. Even with polar bears, there's tenderness. I mean, a mother will cuddle her babies, and it just talks about that, and why we don't understand that we put human labels on everything, but in nature only understands positive emotions and positive vibrations. So And I was thinking about crystals and how different crystals respond to different frequencies and how different crystals do different things. And I know that sounds kind of airy-fairy, but it's not. This is proven stuff. And, you know, and a lot of people are like, oh, you're such a hippie. Well, no, actually, I'm not. This is proven science. This isn't some new age mumbo jumbo that I'm talking about. This is actually proven, and this book gives me a better perspective and more respect of what makes up most of our world and what makes up most of our bodies. Water. And if you have more gratitude is the word that he uses the most in this book. And that's where I want to emphasize that, because gratitude is the most important aspect and concept that we will ever have in this lifetime. And he illustrates this just absolutely wonderfully. And he states that if more people had more spirit of gratitude, it would be a much better world. And there are healers in this world that use counseling to this effect, and they are seeing just absolutely miraculous results. And it's all about being thankful. It's about being content. It's that different kind of response. And I see this every day. This is something that I am witnessing myself. And the golden rule. And it's so simple. It is, yes, so profound. If you are kind, treating others the way you want to be treated, usually that kindness will come, it'll boomerang. And I've found this to be absolutely true. And the veracity of this is that if you are a gentle spirit, that gentleness will be reflected. And it's just a lot of people aren't that way because they don't know, they're ignorant. They have to be taught. And it's a new way of understanding, and that's what this book is all about, and I consider it just absolutely amazing. And I'm going to show you a picture of music that was played for water, and it's actually Vivaldi's Four Seasons. You can see the different crystals that were formed, but there are many other examples of how water responds, and you just gotta give it the respect it's due. And it just makes you wonder why water is this way. But my understanding is it's an element of nature. Nature reflects, and it's just part of who we are, part of everything, and what connects us as human beings. And if we can just understand this at its most basic level, Emoto concurs that we would be a far better society.